Merry Christmas from Parks and Places Online. May you and your family find the true meaning of Christmas this season. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Last video we saw the awesome bears in Hyder, Alaska. Today we're traveling 700 miles north to Skagway, Alaska. Darlene and I rank Skagway as certainly one of the top destinations of all Alaska. But in full disclosure, we had perfect weather for the 3 days that we were there, and that's very rare in Alaska. Skagway is a major cruise ship port. Each day that we were there were several cruise ships in town, along with several very expensive yachts. There are many excursions offered from Skagway, but like always, we'll only talk about the things that we did. If you're getting off a cruise ship, there's a trail that starts right at the docks. It goes to Lower Dewey Lake. This is very popular for those people on the cruise ships who want to get out and spend some time in nature without spending the money on a ship-sponsored excursion. Unfortunately, Lower Dewey Lake is not that spectacular, and I don't recommend the hike. However, the trail continues from Lower Dewey Lake to Upper Dewey Lake and then beyond to the Devil's Punch Bowl. That trail is spectacular. Although this is a spectacular hike, it is very strenuous. It's 8 miles round trip, but it climbs 3,700 feet, so it's very steep. So I don't recommend it for those getting off the cruise ship, unless you're a speed hiker in very good shape. I'll put a link in the description below to the AllTrails page on the hike to Upper Dewey Lake and the Devil's Punch Bowl. If you want a much easier hike getting off the cruise ship, then I recommend walking to Yakatuni Point and Smuggler's Cove. These are an outcropping of rocks and that you can climb out onto, and then you see the views of the town and of the inlet. It's really pretty. If you're driving, beyond Yakatuni Point, the road continues to Dewey Point. This used to be a port years ago, where the gold rush miners would get off their ships and then begin a 33-mile hike up into the Yukon along the Chilkoot Trail. We didn't do that hike. I wonder if it's voice controlled. Gold Rush Cemetery. So I figured out what was wrong with my GoPro. Evidently the way I'm saying Gold Rush sounds like GoPro. So it was turning off based on voice commands. Another popular spot right in town is the Gold Rush Cemetery and Reed Falls. These are included in many of the excursions too. Saving the best for last, the best tour at Skagway is the Klondike Highway leading out of Skagway. If you're driving into Skagway, then watch this video upside down. Wait, will that work? The Klondike Highway runs from Skagway up the valley to White Pass and into Canada. The Klondike Highway then continues through Canada and connects with the Alaskan Highway. I'll mention that the Klondike Highway runs on one side of the valley, and a sightseeing train runs on the opposite side of the valley. The White Pass and Yukon route is a historic train line that takes passengers from Skagway up to White Pass and then into Canada up to the town of Carcross. This is a very popular cruise ship excursion, but we didn't take it because we had our motorhome and we were driving. Leaving Skagway, the first point of interest along the Klondike Highway is Pitchfork Falls. It's on the other side of the valley. About 10 miles from Skagway is the Captain William Moore Bridge. Now, this bridge looks like it's falling down, but it's a unique cable stay bridge that's anchored only on one side. The reason for this unique design is because the bridge spans a fault line, and as the ground shifts, if the bridge was anchored on both sides, then as the ground moves, the bridge would be torn apart. In theory, the ground could give way on the one side of the bridge, and as long as the anchor side was firm, the bridge would still be intact. About 15 miles from the town of Skagway is the top of White Pass, and then you're entering into Canada, and an area of many lakes. The road runs along several different lakes from the top of the pass for about 60 miles, going all the way to Emerald Lake. Expect to spend a lot of time pulling off the road and taking pictures as the scenery changes, following the same lake and as you travel from lake to lake. The drive along Summit Lake and Bernard Lake is referred to as the Tormented Valley, as the rocks and the wind-battered trees make a unique landscape. In my opinion, these are the most beautiful lakes. But beyond that, the drive goes along to Touchai Lake, Tagish Lake, and then on your way to Carcross. Since many excursions end at Carcross, the town is a lot more touristy than it would normally be for the size of like 300 people. Carcross is where many excursions turn around and go back. Carcross also has what they claim to be the world's smallest desert. It's about a square mile. It's not really a desert, but it's a sand dune. If you're driving, beyond Carcross is Emerald Lake, with beautiful green colors and the views of the mountains behind. Click the link in the description below to check out our interactive map of Skagway area. Zoom in and click on markers to see photos and where they are on the map to plan your trip. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps with the YouTube rankings. Next video, we travel across the inlet to Haines, Alaska. Thanks for watching.